Welcome to Spiritual Leadership Coaching. We are on lesson number 5. Lesson number 5. It's a big topic. It's called All Things Are Possible. All things are possible. I don't know what your upbringing is like. I don't know what you are going through right now. I want you to keep this statement. It is possible, and all things are possible for whom he believes. All things are possible. I want to read this quote. Think about this. It says, live your life in the sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions. In fact, all evidence of your desire, the denied fulfillment of your desire, rest in assumption that you are already have what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity, and with your infinite being, God, all things are possible, and God never fails. Have you thought about this? 87% of talk, self-talk, is negative talk. 87%, that's a big number. So if you can imagine as you're going through a typical day, and all the thoughts that come into your head are negative, and it looks like 13% are positive. And if you have imagined this statement, all things are possible. Let me share a story with you. This is a real story which will help you and I to focus on when we go through a setback, when we go through a delay, when we go through a deep, dark hour of our own life. I don't know what you're going through right now. It might be a health challenge. It might be you might be looking for a job opportunity. It might be in your relationships. It might be in your finances. Sometimes the darkness seems so dark that you do not know what to do. Sometimes the darkness seems so dark that you do not know who to call. Sometimes the darkness seems so dark that you want to cry. You want to close the door and just cry. Because you tell yourself, I've tried everything I know. There's nothing else to try. This is it, God. This is it. I'm done with life. In these moments, I want you to keep this statement in the back of your mind. All things are possible. All things are possible. As I said earlier, I want to share this story with you. There were two guys. Two guys got laid off at a job, and both of them had families, and both of them had lost their jobs. They are devastated. They don't know what to do now. They've been working for that business for a very long time, and then things hit a rock bottom for both of them. And one of them had the idea or the mindset that I'm going to go look for another job. I'm going to look for another opportunity. I'm going to look for a new door. And both of them kept on applying for jobs after jobs after jobs. And one of them decided to do the same as well, apply for jobs after job. And one of them got so depressed and so anxious, and he was negative about the whole outlook about life. And one day he started drinking, and that turned into night after night after night. And he started complaining to people, whoever he can find, about the current situation that he's in and the circumstances that he's in. And over time that he would find people after people to share how dark the world is. The other guy who lost his job, he said, no, it might be the next phone call. It might be the next email. It might be the next text message. He kept on going. He said there has to be a job out there that has my name on it. There has to be a job out there that has my name on it. Eventually, he found a job. And that guy number 2 was in the same position, same place, and he was looking for a job. And one day he was driving right? He took his wife's car and he dropped his wife at her workplace and he dropped the kids off at school. And his wife asked him, "Are you going to look for a job?" And he said, "Yes, I am." What he did was he came home and then he parked the car in the garage and he left it running and he committed suicide. Two people, two different perspectives. One of them believed all things are possible, even in the midst of the darkness, even in the midst of the failure, even in the midst of getting no after no after no. Can you imagine going through life in the middle of a crisis, in the middle of a disappointment, in the middle of pain? I want you to think about this statement: all things are possible. And there was a verse in the Bible that says, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible, from Matthew 19:26. And in Mark 9 verse 23 it says, all things are possible for whom he believes. All things are possible for whom he believes. And when we look at the subject of all things are possible, as we look at lesson number 5, what are you going through right now where you have made up your mind to say it is over? As soon as you make that kind of statements, you are already defeated in your mindset. You're already defeated in that place where you are, because you want to go to the next place. You want to go to the next level. But that the things that you're saying about the situation is already defeated. But I came to encourage you, to tell you, in these moments, you do not have to know the how. You do not have to know where. You do not have to know everything. But just maybe I can make it. Just maybe all things are possible. Just maybe I could take one step more. Just maybe I can move on. Just maybe that God is able to help me. Just maybe it is possible for me. It is possible for me to make it. It is possible for you to make it. When you say these words out loud in the middle of your deepest darkness, in the middle of your deepest sorrow, in the middle of your deepest pain, in the middle of your long night where the darkness seems so dark, it will enable you, it will empower you to keep moving forward. Because in these moments, you do not want to ask this question: is life worth living? Is life worth living in these moments? Because history is full of people that made it because they did not give up. They did not give up. They kept on moving forward. They kept on keeping on. There's another story that I want to share with you. We all know Mike Tyson, and he was the man in his time where this Mike Tyson, the invisible man, nobody could meet him, nobody could beat him in his own game. But until Buster Douglas came along the way and he beat him. In life, many things that you want to accomplish are on the other side of your fear. Many things that you want to accomplish are on the other side of asking yourself, it is possible for me. It is possible for me to do what I have in my heart to do. It is possible for me to accomplish my dreams. It is possible for me to keep moving forward in the midst of, say, getting no after no after no. Even in my own life, I was looking for a job during the time of pandemic because of COVID-19. And I applied for many jobs. There were times that I want to give up. There were times that why do I have to apply again? Why try again in life? Why bother? Just quit and just forget about this job situation. Forget about it. But here I am today because I kept on telling myself, it is possible for me to make it. It is possible for me to make it. You might be going through a deep darkness. You might be going through a difficult season right now. The way the winter seems so long that you're wondering, is there a chance for me to make it? Is there a chance for me to move on? Is there a chance for me to step up? I guarantee you there is a chance. There's more than a chance, and it is on you. What are you saying to yourself right now in the middle of your pain, in the middle of your loss, where you have lost everything? You tried and you seem like you failed. You started the business and it failed. You started the relationship, it didn't go well. You started applying for opportunities, you didn't hear back. What are you going through right now that where it seems like you want to give up? But I just want to tell you, you are more powerful than you think. You really are. You really are more powerful than you really think. Look at my life. Look at my life. Who am I? Who am I? Just a little kid from a village from Sri Lanka. And a kid that did not know how to speak English. The kid was never dreamed of doing something like this. But I kept on telling myself, it's possible for me to do it. It's possible. I may not know how. I may not know where I might get help from. Whatever it is, I kept on saying to myself, all things are possible for whom he believes. All things are possible for whom he believes. Where is your belief gone in your deep darkness? Where is your belief gone? Where is your conviction gone when you've lost everything? You are in tears. You're trying to say, Andrew, there's nothing else I can do anymore. Life has beat me down. Life has beat me down. It is over. It is over. Everything that I've done, everything that I've tried, it's done. There's nothing else I can do. Even myself, I was ill and I was in my younger days in school. And I was in hospital in and out all the time. I did not know how I was going to make it. There were long nights. There were many nights that I was in the hospital bed. And I was asking that same question, why me? But then I stopped asking that question, why me? God, I knew that you can use me. You can use my life. You can heal me. I believed I can come back from this. I believed that I can get back stronger than ever before. I believed it is possible for me to make it from this hospital bed. I could not even eat with my own hands. I could not walk. All the joints were painful. I could not even eat. Can you imagine? I was in that hospital bed, and the same guy that was in the hospital bed is the same guy that's speaking to you because of the goodness of God. Because of the goodness of God. And the same God that did a miracle in my life is able to do a miracle in your life and say, all things are possible for you as well. All things are possible for you as well. You're no different. God is not a respecter of person. And I want to encourage you, in the middle of your sorrow, in the middle of your darkness, in the middle of your mourning, in the middle of things not going your way at all, things are going in the opposite direction of what you had thought to be. I came to tell you, my friend, if Andrew is able to make it today, the same Andrew is able to make it today. The same Andrew can make it today, and so can you. I want to remind you these two statements. All things are possible. I can make it, and you can make it. It's possible. Remember this. In the middle of your darkness, in the middle of your pain, in the middle of wanting to do better in life, in the middle of wanting to go further and accomplish more, do more, wanting to be successful, I want you to remember these two statements. It's possible. It's possible. Just that statement. You may already know it. I want you to remind you to say, it's possible for me to achieve my dreams. It's possible for me to achieve my goals. It's possible for me to get that job. It's possible to go further in life. It's possible to grow as a human being. It's possible to become better at what I'm doing right now. It is possible. And you keep saying that, there's something inside of you, your belief starts arising. Your conviction starts kicking in. You're no longer listening to the negative things. You're no longer giving your focus to the negative things. You're giving your mind and your attention and your focus to this one thing. That one thing is, all things are possible. All things are possible. If God can do it in my own life, what about you? What about you? Have you asked that question? What about me? I can achieve the things that I want to achieve, if you put your mind to it, if you put your heart into it, I guarantee you the universe will send help. Help will come on, is on the way. If God can help me, he can help you. And God is not a respecter of person. And when you go through these difficulties, just like the story that I shared earlier about two guys losing a job and one of them finding a job, and the same thing can be applied in your life and my life. I've experienced it. What I'm sharing with you right now, I have gone through it myself. When I lost a job, I had to keep on moving. I said it could be the next job. There were times that I wanted to quit. There were times that I did not want to apply. There were times that everything in me said, why bother? Why try now? But I came to tell you this evening on lesson number 5. Today is your day. As you listen to this, something is going to change your life. Something that I've shared in this talk. It could be one thing. It could be a couple of things. Take it and apply it in your own life, because I know you are destined to do great things. I know that you can achieve your dreams. I know that you can achieve your goals. I know that all things are possible with God. And when you are in the dumps, when you are at your lowest point in your life, I want you to remember this statement. It's possible for me to make it. It's possible. And all things are possible for whom he believes. And this statement, all things are possible. When you keep saying that over and over in the middle of it, you will believe what you are saying, and your conviction starts kicking in, and you will see your own self moving forward in life. And that is the key. Lesson number 5. Thank you so much for joining. May God richly bless you as you go to the next lesson in the next week. God bless you. Take care.